Hello there, I'm Panna Kamaljit and I've been a practicing psychologist for over 11 years now. I conduct psychological assessments as well as counseling sessions, and I feel very passionately about mental health. So let's talk about exams. Remember exams? Entering the exam hall, heart pounding, sweaty palms, revising the concepts in your head and worrying whether you would forget everything at the last moment. It makes you wonder why exams even exist. So I guess an exam is definitely not our most favorite activity, and it is not something that we look forward to. We look at it as something that we have to tolerate just to move on to the next level. But are exams really as bad as we think they are? Yes, they cause stress in our lives, but exams can actually have a very valuable and precious impact on our learning. But that can happen only if the stress is handled well, and only if we do not look at exams as a race to the top. And anyway, if we cannot escape exams, we might as well try to make friends with them, right? But what if I tell you that a little bit of stress is actually good for you? Sounds strange, right? There's something called as positive stress. It motivates us and pushes us to do something. For example, the stress of being hungry is what makes us go to the kitchen in search of food. Now imagine if we weren't stressed about hunger, we wouldn't survive. So if we turn the negative stress that we feel during exams into a positive one, it can actually channel all our nervousness into energy and determination. Can you tell me which organ in our body is majorly responsible for helping us learn? That's right, it's the brain. Now let us look at two important parts of the brain. There is a thinking part and there is a feeling part. Let's call them Thinking Thomas and Feeling Freddy. Now, Thinking Thomas and Feeling Freddy can either be the best of friends or the worst of enemies. If we want to learn something really well and perform in our exams without being tense, we need them to be friends. Thinking Thomas can help us in understanding a concept, paying attention, memorizing something, using logic. Feeling Freddy is the one that makes sure we are relaxed, calm, and happy. But do you know what happens when Feeling Freddy starts getting super worried, upset, or anxious? Thinking Thomas shuts down and refuses to learn anything. This is precisely what happens when we take on too much exam pressure. It just stops our brain from absorbing information, and we cannot remember anything that we have learned. Feeling Freddy gets super confused, scares Thinking Thomas away. When we do take on exam pressure, why do we do that? Because we believe that exams are all about performing to perfection. We constantly worry about failure and letting people down. We feel like a bad result is the worst thing in the world. Of course, it is disappointing to not be able to do as well as we would have hoped. But exams are not a life and death matter. So when do we take on exam pressure and why do we do that? We worry that a bad result is the worst thing in the world. Of course, it's disappointing to not be able to perform as well as you may have hoped. But exams are not a life and death matter. There are many other great people in the world who have achieved great success despite failures in exams. We just need to change the way we look at exams. Exams are not a measure of our abilities, our potential, our worth. No exam in the world can tell you or is capable of telling you what you're worth. Don't just look at exams as a goal that you have to achieve. Look at it as a process, as an extension of learning. What does that mean? Imagine I have to draw a scenery or paint a scenery on a blank canvas. Yes, my goal would be to make that painting to perfection. But if I'm only thinking of the end result, my hands are going to tremble because of all the pressure. So what do I need to do? I need to focus on the act of painting itself. And when I do that, I see that I get sheer happiness and joy when I hold that brush and paint those soothing strokes of vivid color on that blank canvas. And when I do that, my painting will definitely turn into a magnificent masterpiece without even trying too hard. So focus on the process and not always on the goal. To give a good exam, you need to learn something really well. And there are a few things that you can do to make the whole exam process a little more easier on your mind. Revision makes your brain connections stronger. So remember that whatever you learn today is something that you have to revise after a gap of 10 to 15 days. 2. When you study, pretend like you're teaching someone else. Research says that we remember almost 90% of what we teach others. See how teaching can actually help you? 3. We have 5 sense organs, right? Everyone knows that. They are our secret weapons. And make sure that you use as many sense organs as possible when you are learning something. So you read with your eyes, you use vision. And while that is a good method, why not say a few words out aloud, write a few sentences down? That way, your eyes, your ears, and your skin are all involved in the process of learning, making all of those memories much more stronger. Lastly, please don't expect yourself to be able to learn your entire text or remember your entire text. That is absolutely impossible to do. So now, what do you do when you're actually writing an exam? 1. While writing an exam, remember that we need feeling Freddy to be all calm and relaxed for thinking Thomas to do well. So first, calm feeling Freddy down by taking a deep breath and telling yourself that you have done the best that you possibly could and that the exam is not the last thing in the world. During exams, get enough sleep. That's point number 2. Remember that just like your phone won't work on a discharged battery, sleep is important to energize you to write the exam well. 3. If you don't know the answer to a particular question very well, stop scratching your head. Leave some space blank and move on to the next question. Why? Don't worry. Your brain is like a computer. It will be looking for the answer while you're attempting the other questions. If you let feeling Freddy relax, thinking Thomas will take over and make sure that you remember the answer after a while. Lastly, no matter how the exam goes, don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back and say, I did it. I want you all to know something. I want you all to know that nature has gifted us with a magical ability to bounce back from any kind of difficulty. It's called resilience. So no matter how bad an exam may be, how bad a situation may be, believe that nature has given you the emotional software to deal with it and eventually come out a winner. And keep playing Mind Wars on Z5. Mind Wars, making India smarter. Like, share and subscribe to our channel for more such insightful videos.